In this video, I'm going to show you how to mine tube coins with the latest and greatest CAST XMR 1.4.0. Let it begin now. Alright, we're back. Now, there's a couple prerequisites that I want to go through, and also I'm making this video with the assumption that you already have a running mining rig. If you don't worry, I've got you covered. I have recorded other videos to show you step by step how to set up a new mining rig, how to download the software. We are going to go through a little bit of that today as far as downloading, what the links are, and all that stuff. And by the way, it will be in the description below, so don't worry, you don't have to write anything down. All of the links that we use today will be in the description below. So if you do not have a running mining rig already, go ahead and stop the video here, bookmark it, save the page, do whatever you need to, come back to it. Go scroll down through my page and find the videos where I talk about setting up a mining rig. Alright, so a couple prerequisites that we need to go through. First, I want to make sure before anything else that your mining rig, Windows 10 based mining rig, is fully up to date. The reason being is because we're going to be using the new versions of software. So I want to make sure that you don't run into any kind of issues by having old or outdated software. Okay, so the first thing that we want to look at is come down here to the search bar and type in WinVer. Press enter. And as you can see at the top of the screen here, we've got Windows version 1803. Now, if you have version 1709 and you update your mining rig to 1803 and you are a kryptonite miner and you have you've already tried other kryptonite coins, then this 1803 version will break your mining rig if you're still on the older 1709 software. Now, again, I've got you covered. There is an 1803 break fix video that I did record. So if you're going from 1709 to 1803, look for that video and I'll walk you through step by step how to update it, how to go back and put your power play tables in place, and all that other stuff that you need to do to get your rig updated. Now, again, the reason why I do this is because as Windows releases new versions, sometimes what happens is their software and the mining software don't play well together. So we want to make sure everything's up to date, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pause our updates so that we don't run into this issue for a little bit of time. Alright, so we are on 1803. I'm going to type in update and check for updates. Alright. As you can see here, this mining rig is completely up to date. Last checked at 5:05 p.m. today, okay? Which is September 5th, 2018. So we're fully updated, ready to go. Alright, so again, in the description below, we're going to have all these links. Oh, I almost forgot. My AMD driver software for my AMD cards. Well, let me back up a little bit further. This is a Vega 56 2-card rig. Now, if you have RX 470, 480, 570, 580s, the exact same process that I'm doing right here for the Vega cards, you will do for your mining rig. Now, what we want to look at is what is the current driver version on your rig. You need to check this out. Unfortunately, I can't do that for you. revision number that I'm using is 18.8.1. All right, so it's a little bit older driver than the latest stuff that's out there. But according to Gandalf 3000's website, the CAST XMR will work tested with 18.5.1. So I would recommend at this time, go ahead and download this Adrenaline Edition 18.5.1 if you're on the Vega RX series cards. If you're on the other ones, simply go to the downloads page, again, in the description below, but you'll simply find your RX 470, 480, 570, 580 drivers. Just go and use the 18.5.1 driver for your particular setup. All right, so again, the assumption is you already have a functioning mining rig, okay? So if you're not quite to that step, go ahead and get the mining rig updated, ready to go, and let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to show you how to pause the updates. If you're not familiar with that, type in, again, update, check for updates, and then what I want to do is go to advanced options, and I want to pause the updates. What this is going to do is pause any updates that may try to be applied until the 10th of October, which is 35 days from now. So really important, once Windows has released some updates and you're more than confident that you can mine and it's not going to break your rig by applying the new updates, you can unpause it and allow it to update. But like what happened a few months ago with the 1709 to 1803, kind of messed things up for a lot of folks, myself included. So pausing it just long enough for the creators of this mining software to fix whatever issues may come up or whatever issues Windows may send your way, that's kind of a smart thing to do, okay? There are other ways to disable this, but that's the only way that I'm going to go through in this video. If you want to look at other ways to disable Windows updates, be my guest, do a quick Google search, and you'll find plenty of different ways to go ahead and pause this or stop it completely. All right? In my experience, though, Windows is getting pretty smart about that. Even though you may pause this or stop it, somehow they're overriding this and forcing the update on your machine. So, in my experience, doesn't always work as you would expect it to. All right, let's move on. So, again, 18.5.1 in this example. My example is 18.8.1, but it works the same way as 18.5.1. Okay, so this is the one that you want to download. Next thing, let's go to Gandalf3000.com, and you can see here we have a brand new version on August 27th, 2018, version 1.4.0. Okay, let's see. Right here is the download. But let's see what he has changed. All right. Scroll down through here. Let's find our change log. Here it is, change history. 3%, can't talk, 3% performance increase for Kryptonite Tube Heavy when mining bit.tube. All right, so the other prerequisite here is tested with Adrenaline driver 18.5.1, like we just talked about. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to scroll up here to the top. And there is a little bit of lag because I'm screen connected into a remote box, and then I'm RDPing to this box. So there is a little bit of lag, so deal with me with the kind of marginal frame rates. All right, so we're going to click CAST XMR 1.4.0, and then I'm going to hit Save. All right, and I'm going to go to my Downloads folder. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. I'm going to go to my Downloads folder, and I'm going to double left-click CAST XMR. And I can either right-click and extract or do it this way that I'm showing you. I can double click on switch again, or run, or CAST XMR Vega, and it's going to ask me if I want to extract it. I'm going to say extract all. Then I'm going to tell it where I want to extract the files. I want, for my example, to download it or extract it to the desktop. So right there, show extracted files when complete, extract. All right, I'm going to close out the downloads folder. And as you can see, I have my relevant files here. The switch is a neat little program. I don't use it for my version, for what I'm doing. You might find that tool, that specific tool, useful if you are a Vega Frontier Edition miner. Okay, but for this example, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I'm going to go ahead and drag this guy to the recycling bin. Now, the important thing here, folks, is you want to make sure that the CAST XMR executable right here and the batch file, or the bat file right here, the run bat file, is actually located in the same space. Can be in the same folder. It has to be in the same space. So being on the desktop works because in the directory wise, it's in the same space. You can put this in your documents folder. You can leave it in your downloads if you want. Doesn't matter, but as long as it's in the same space. All right, so what we need to do now is right click the run folder, or the run executable, sorry, the batch file. Click edit. And we're going to get a Windows Smart Screen Defender notification. There's a couple different ways we can deal with this. I talk about it in my other videos, but for right now, we can either whitelist it, or for right now, I can click more info and then run anyway. What it's going to do, it's going to open it up, and essentially what we're going to do, if I can make it larger. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have to adjust what's in this file so that it suits our needs. As you can see here, if you're familiar with XMR Stack, the startup process is a little bit different, okay? I do have an XMR Stack video if you would like to go watch that. But CAST, you have to only edit this run.bat file, okay? So let's get into how to edit it. The important things here are the intensity values, which by default on the Vega 56s, it defaults to a 7 out of 10. You can manipulate that if you want. The algorithm that you're going to mine, the pool that you're going to mine to, and then your wallet address. And then after that, we can change the password, or what is shown on most mining websites as a rig name. All right, so let's go back to our browser. Let's go to mining.bit.tube, okay? So there are many other pools out there. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you use this pool. Here's why. If all the hash power is on one pool or two pools, you don't distribute the hash power evenly, and you can start getting into a situation on a low hash power coin where the hash rate can be manipulated by individuals if they want to, by running nice hash or running or using their farm to attack the network. We don't want that, okay? So I recommend that you use this mining.bit.tube pool. Even though it's not the largest, the payouts are going to be relatively in the same range as if you mine to a larger pool, okay? So we go here, we go to Getting Started. As you can see, our mining pool address. Here's a quick little tip for you, okay? I'm going to bring up a command prompt. I'm going to put that over here so you guys can see it. Make sure my face doesn't cut it off there. All right, so what I'm going to do is make this a little bit smaller so that we can see both of these on the screen at the same time. All right. Depending upon your location, that's going to be either the geo address or the actual DNS address that you want to point your miner to. All right. So let me show you a quick little trick, and I'm going to show you what the best pool is for me in my situation. Okay. We're going to look at the amount of latency that we see when we open a connection or try to reach out to this particular website or this particular pool. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to type in ping, and then I'm going to copy and paste this. So click back in here, right click on Windows 10, and that you can see that it added mining.bit.tube. Now press enter. All right, you're going to see the ping response time, okay? 154, 153 milliseconds, okay? So the next one we're going to do is Asia, copy, and then same thing, ping, space, right click, enter. You can see 231, 232, 234 milliseconds. And now for me, you guys guessed it, US. So ping, right click, enter. As you can see, 70 milliseconds, 77 being the longest. So this isn't always a foolproof way of doing it, but this shows me is a really quick test. All things being equal, again, not the full story here, but all things being equal, the best place for me to send my shares is to this us.mining.bit.tube address. The latency is the lowest, okay? So let's go ahead and close this out. Something else I want to talk about really quick. All right, so static difficulty or using a preset port with a starting difficulty. All right, this is a little bit of a confusing subject, and I don't want to go too deep into one aspect of this to confuse anybody. The easiest thing, if you've never dealt with static difficulty before, is to just use a pre-configured starting port for your mining difficulty. Now, I do have a video where I go in depth on which port you should use. That's not this video, okay? Because my particular setup, my 2 Vega card mining rig, I know that I want to start out with either port 15555 or 17777, okay? If you've got some really slow hardware, or you're just trying to mine with a CPU or an older GPU, that port 11111 may be a better option for you, okay? If you've got a really fast rig, like my 8-card mining rigs, my Vega 64 and 56 mining rigs, I use port 19999, and that seems to be a good starting point. Now, static difficulty, we can try that as well, and I'll go through that after we get the rig running, okay? But for now, you need to pick a port. I'm going to pick 17777, all right? So now that I know where I'm going to send my submitted shares to, which mining pool in which port we can proceed. So I'm going to minimize this. What I want to do is go, well, actually, let's do the algorithm first. Since it's in order, let's go left to right. So let's pull our browser back up. Let's go to Gandalf 3000's website, and we're going to scroll down. And right here, his instructions, if you scroll down the screen, you're going to see his instructions on which algo, your intensity levels, the other neat little features that he's built into the program, the keywords and how you actually put them into the batch file, all that is in this page, okay? So what we're looking for here is kryptonite tube heavy, okay? So what we want to do is pick -- algo equals 5. Excuse me. So if we go here, we want to put a 5 in there. That will tell the miner which proof of work algorithm that we want to start mining, okay? So next thing, we want to change out this address, which is the developer's address, with what we want to do, which is US, in my case, us.mining.bit.tube. So I'm going to hit paste, and you can see here, us.mining.bit.tube, :17777. All right. Make sure you have the proper spaces. Okay. -s, there should be a space, and then the pool. There should be another space, and then -u, which is for username, then a space. And what we want to do is put there we go. We want to put our address. So copy your address from clipboard, from your wallet directly, but this is your public address that you're going to be placing in here. So hit paste. So one more place while you've got it copied to your clipboard is you want to put your address, go back to the pool, click on bit.tube or bit.tube at the top of the page, and you want to scroll down to your stats and payment history. You want to right click and paste your address in there. Then when you're ready, you can press look up. Okay, that will show you your live stats as your mining rig is running. Okay, so gonna minimize that. Now what I want to do is give my miner a name. You don't necessarily have to do this, but a lot of pools, depending upon which pool it is, a lot of pools will actually allow you to give yourself a rig identifier. Okay, so for this, I'm going to do -p space, and then whatever the name is. Let's say bit.tube, all one word, rig. Okay, bit.tube rig. Now, the next and important thing that you need to put in this configuration file, -g for graphics cards. Okay, so we're going to need to do how many graphics cards you have. If you've got 6, then you're going to start out with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 cards. Starts with 0 and ends with whatever number. Okay, in my instance, I have 2 graphics cards on this particular machine. So I'm going to put 0, 1 space. Now remember, if you have multiple cards, you're going to put -2, -3, -4, -5, how many ever cards you have, as long as you start with 0 as your card number 1. So card number 2 would actually be 1, if that makes any sense. Okay, So I'm going to do one more space. I'm going to do a percent sign. This closes it out. And then a asterisk. So shift, what key is it? 5. And then shift 8. So shift 5 and shift 8 will give you that. That closes out your configuration. Now there's a couple extra pieces that we can put in here. Again, I don't want to make this too complicated. You can go back to the Gandalf 3000 website and put the extra features in, the fast job switch and the intensity and all that other stuff. It's very simple. You just add it in here. Let me go through, intensity really quick, just to show you an example, and then I'm going to pull it out because it will actually run just like you see now. Okay? So go back to the website. And if I scroll down, I can see the -- intensity command. Okay, it gives you a walkthrough of how to put that in. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to push this to intensity level 8. Depending upon the algorithm, it can start off at 7 or 8. I'm going to go ahead and force 8 on this. You may have to adjust for your particular rig. Not going to get into all that stuff. If you want to overclock to your heart's content, go ahead and do so. But for this video, so we're going to minimize that, and then right here we're going to put -- intensity. Make sure you spell it right. Go slow. Equals. I'm going to do 8, 8 space. That's 8, intensity level 8 for each one of my cards. Remember, 2 cards, so 8, 8. All right? If you leave this entire string out, it will just default to a lower intensity level. Okay? Not a big deal. You can overclock. You can adjust this. Again, that's completely on you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that in. The only other thing that we can go over is static difficulty. Okay? So if I wanted to change the static difficulty, in other words, these ports that you put in, the 17777 is a starting difficulty of, let's see, what was it? Getting started. Yep, so a starting difficulty of 500,000. If you start your miner up, and here's how you tell. If you start your miner up and it's very slow to find or accept the first share, and you see that the difficulty is dropping through your command line output as you're watching it scroll across the screen, you know you probably need to start out with either a lower port, maybe I need to change the configuration to 15555, or I can put in a static difficulty. Okay? So what I'm going to do, let's go back here, and for static difficulty, 50000. Try it again. 5000. So 500,000. Okay? So that would be a static difficulty if I wanted to lock the miner in at a certain difficulty rate. Okay? How you go about doing that, again, that's up to you. I'm not going to go over it. It's a little out of scope for this video, but we're going to go ahead and remove that and just let the port do its magic. And I'm very important here, file and save. Okay? So I'm going to now close this out. Make sure that you did save it. Please make sure that you saved it. And now I'm simply going to go to the run, put my mouse over here, and I'm going to double click the run. If you get a prompt stating, would you like to run this for the first time, go ahead and click through and it's going to be okay. Okay? Because Windows thinks basically any kind of executable is a virus. So it's going to try to block it. Not a problem. Just go ahead and run it as is. So here we go. It's going to open up the screen in the background. I can go ahead and minimize that or close it out. It's not going to hurt anything. All right.
So as you can see, it started up, intensity level 8 of 10 maximum, and it shows my Radeon RX Vega GFX 900 cards. And it shows the starting difficulty of 500,000. And you can see it's running. So for CAST XMR, you can press S, and that's going to give you more details than what you're seeing here. You can see here, Kryptonite Tube Heavy. And so far, I have not accepted or rejected any shares. We're still working on the first share. So we'll give it just a minute. Be patient. This could take just a couple minutes. If I see that it's taking way too long, then I might need to lower the difficulty. You see here, difficulty changed down to 298,510. That tells me that it lowered the difficulty so that my rig can find a share. So that tells me I probably need to go back in and lower it to port 15555. Let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and edit. We're going to go back here, and we're going to change this to all 5s. Again, your rig can be completely different, but I'm just showing you kind of a troubleshooting scenario that might help you in your endeavor. So save, close it, and then we're going to double left click it again, close my background window, and you can see now that the starting difficulty is a lot different, 200,000. All right, so it definitely lowered that difficulty a little bit. Maximize that so we can watch it for a minute. You see the fan starting to spin up. Now again, your hash rate will vary greatly from mine. I've done 0 overclocking. I haven't done anything. I haven't changed the intensity level or anything. This is just a basic how-to guide of how to get your miner running. And I'm going to go ahead and pause it because I don't want to make the video any longer than I need to. When it submits its first share, I'll go ahead and unpause it and we'll get started again. All right, so as you can see, we have our first share accepted. All right, shares 1 accepted, share accepted +1. Okay, 0 errors. Okay, if you see errors, guys, if you see errors or shares not being submitted, it is a possibility that you misentered, we'll put it like that, misentered the algorithm. So you need to go back and check that. All right, troubleshooting is very simple on this program. Okay, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. If you have any questions that are kind of outside the scope of this particular video, again, you're more than welcome to ask. I don't mind answering questions to the best of my ability, but I do have a lot of other videos mining related on my channel that I think could be very, very helpful to you in the future. All right, looks like we're off and we are mining some tube coins. Everybody have a great day, night, morning, wherever you're at in the world, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. All right, I almost forgot one last thing. All right, go back to the pool, put your wallet address in, your public wallet address in, press lookup, and you can see your shares being submitted, your hash rate, and the payouts and the payments that they're sending you. All right. Thanks again. See you next time.